Hi everyone, this is Lada and April from Astrolada.com. We're here today to speak about the 12 signs and what careers they can give. So that's very basic level astrology. Hi April, how are you?
Hi, Lada. Good afternoon. Doing well.
Thank you for joining us and for agreeing to do that video. And basically, this will be almost like a preparation for the tomorrow. No, on the 12th, the webinar that we're doing with April on how to find your vocation. And we want to give an example of what we're going to be teaching, and also for people that don't know any astrology but know just their sun sign, to know what a sun sign can represent as a career, what each sign represents as a career, and why the sun sign can indicate career. Because the sun is planet, the central, it's the source of everything. So it's the main role we're meant to play in this lifetime. And that's why often the main role can be expressed through our career, through our vocation. So just knowing someone's sun sign, you can help them find their career. But of course, astrology is not so simple, because there are special houses of career, like the 6th, the 10th house. Because there are also, if you have a number of planets in a certain sign, you can also use this information. Say if you have stellium, 3 or 4 planets in Capricorn, listen to what we speak about Capricorn in regards to career. If you have just your sun sign in any of those signs, in any of the 12 signs, listen what we speak about that. But also, if you're more advanced in astrology, if you know what house cusp, what sign is on your 10th house cusp and on the 6th house cusp, which are very much connected about work and career, also listen to that sign. So yeah, I just wanted to give a little short intro so people know how to look at this information, to use it. Those that are more advanced and those that are beginners can just listen to their sun sign, that everyone knows what their sun sign is. So go on, and guys, if you want to learn more, join us on the 12th with April together. April will be the main teacher, and I would fill in certain information that we're doing webinar. It's filling out very fast. We have a few places left, and even if you miss it, you can watch it after that. So okay, let's start. So people are probably very eager to hear what we have to say.
Yeah, definitely. I like your intro. Very informative. So, yeah, so we're going to talk about the careers that are commonly associated with each sign. It doesn't mean that that's exactly what you're going to do. There's so many different options. And of course, we look at the ruling planet, and there's a lot of things that we look at. But just generalization about careers commonly associated with the signs. We're going to go through all of them. So we will start with Aries careers, and with Aries being ruled by Mars. And Mars is a planet of action and go-getting, and really just being very, very active and aggressive, kind of, And Aries is an energy that it likes to be kind of the boss, it likes to be in charge. It's representative, it's a leadership energy. So anyhow, with that being said, Aries careers can be first responders. Aries could be great with being a first responder, like in the medical field. What are they called? The EMTs or whatever, emergency medical technician. Yeah, emergency response, firefighters, because they're ruled by Mars, which rules fire. And Aries are very daring and exciting and fearless, so they can be really good with that. Police officers, I commonly see police officers in Aries, and other signs that we'll get to too. But because Aries is very fearless, and it's the energy of like war and fighting crime, could be really good for an Aries career. We see surgeons, we see athletes, because of the Mars energy. So many athletes, if you look up their birth chart, they have Aries somewhere. Aries moon, rising, Mars, something.
Oh, I'm watching now America's Best Dancers, and there's something on Tuesday, and the twins, I don't know if you saw them.
Yes.
The twins, they're amazing. I was like, oh my God, these people must have something in Aries, because Aries is the physical body and movement, like fast movement, and they're so agile. And I said, they must have a really powerful planet in Aries. And I opened their chart. They have no time of birth, but they have Mars in Aries. Mars is strongest in Aries. So that's why, you know, that there were such amazing dancers. I had to put this in.
Yeah, I believe it. I've seen them too. They are pretty fantastic. So, and yeah, there's another career, dance. Although there's other signs and energies associated with dance too, but Aries, especially Mars and Aries. Let's see, right off the top of my head, I know Prince. I'm obsessed with Prince. Prince had Mars and Aries.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Singer, dancer, jumping off of stages and stuff and speakers from high above. Fearless dancer. Okay,
Absolutely.
so yes. Dancing Aries, yes. We also see just general common careers like leadership roles. Like you could be a leader in a leader position as Aries in even just like an office job. You know, it doesn't have to be a spectacular career, but yeah, one where you're in a position of power, leadership, people follow you because of your fearlessness and your drive. And you could be a motivational, like maybe not motivational speaker. Aries isn't real speaking, but a motivational person, like even like a physical trainer, a fitness trainer, somebody that motivates others physically in some kind of way.
And excites them, because my cousin is born on the same day like me. She has 4 planets in Aries like me, and she started at the bottom of a company, and then she quickly got promoted to be someone who motivates they make sales on the phone. And she's the one that in the morning they motivates them, come on, we're gonna sell. You kind of, you know, the Wolf of Wall Street kind of, yeah, you know, we're gonna get that. And now she's one of the owners of the company, because always Aries, for some reason, they sooner or later get to the top because they don't like to have bosses. They're not happy with bosses. If they have bosses, which is also represented by the sun, those bosses will be very driven and they'll push their buttons a lot. So sooner or later, it pushes them to become the boss.
Oh, yeah. I totally believe it. Yeah, Aries can be the boss. One of the signs that can really be good as a boss in any type of job, you know, like you mentioned, like a phone sales, you know, so but yeah, Aries tend to be really good self-starters and motivators of other people. We also see, because Mars rules metal work, metal workers, and also mechanics. A lot of Aries people that I know, they're mechanics. They just love cars and metal and, you know, the fast driving
engineers,
cars.
mechanics, exactly.
Yeah. All of them are interested in that stuff and really good at it. And I see a lot of times soldiers, military soldiers associated with Aries, because it's ruled by Mars, the god of war, you know, so they can really be active in military type of careers, especially the ones where you have to be on the front of the line. I don't really know all the titles.
Yes, the one that go first into the battle.
Yeah, like, yeah. They can
I think Scorpio also can be very much military, but they'll be the strategists, because they're also ruled by Mars, one of the planets. They'll be the one like that are making how we're gonna move, what we're gonna do, but Aries are on the front line, as you said.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Also,
So, yeah.
startups, people that do startups, Aries, that have their own businesses. Very often I've seen, and like, see, guys, now Uranus is in Aries. Whenever Uranus moves into a sign, you see a boom. Uranus is like an explosion of businesses, or even on the markets, anything connected with Aries goes very high up. And before Uranus comes out, usually the markets plummet in regards to that as well. But you see how in the last 7 years, companies like Halliburton and that are about defense, are about military, that are about any kind of guns, have exploded, and also how startups have exploded. Almost every second person that comes to me says, "I want to start up a business. I want to start up a business." You know. And yeah, but when it moves into Taurus, we'll see a different branch of businesses start going up, which will be more organic food production and stuff like that. And yeah, but we'll talk about that another time. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's a really good point. I was thinking the same thing about Uranus and Aries, and a lot of Aries people over the last like 6-7 years or so probably have been some of the ones that have been starting up these businesses, especially online businesses. I watch a lot of YouTubers, like especially ones in like the beauty and lifestyle community. A lot of them have Aries energy that started growing very quickly in the last like 5-6
I
years.
know. Look at me.
Oh yeah, yes, and you too. Yes.
Yay.
Prime example. Hello.
It's your turn after that, April. Uranus comes into your sign in Taurus.
We shall see.
You
So
will
yes.
take the baton because I'll be totally exhausted and old news when Uranus goes into Taurus. It's the Taurians after that are going, because Uranus can give like sudden rise and sudden drop as well. So depending.
Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, speaking of, now we'll get into Taurus. So Taurus careers. Well, Taurus rules our resources. That includes our material world resources: food, water, electricity, products, goods and services, things you buy, things you consume. That's all Taurus. Taurus rules money. And so yeah, food service jobs. A lot of Tauruses work in food service. I'm a Taurus. I worked in food service.
Hey, April dropped out. We're just waiting here. Yes, I can add in a few words about Taurus as well. Like April said, they can have an amazing palate as well. They can be like a food connoisseurs or a food tasters, wine tasters. They can be in the wine industry, in the food industry, production of food, luxury goods, because Taurus is everything that's good quality, and it's about decorating and making yourself beautiful, whether it's perfumes, whether it's jewelry, whether it's, you can be in business that is connected to selling luxury goods to women, like beautiful handbags, like beautiful clothes, you know. So if you have some Taurus energy, and Taurus also rules the teeth and the mouth, so professions that are connected with the teeth and the mouth, like dentists. Also Taurus rules any kind of the five senses, so any professions that are connected to the five senses. And some of the best masseurs that I know, they have something in Taurus, whether the 10th house cusp or Venus in Taurus, or a stellium of planets in Taurus, or Sun in Taurus, because massaging, you know, it's about the sensual enjoyment as well. People that also, let me see, I'm just going to write to her if she is coming back. Oh, I hope she can come back. Probably just trying to get in again. Hopefully she's not going to repeat the same things I'm saying. But for example, one of my best friends has Venus and Sun in Taurus, and she has her own bakery. Before that, she was into design. And sorry, I was filling in for you for Taurus.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
I didn't know that happened. I was talking to myself forever and ever, I guess.
Well, check always your picture below if you stop seeing it.
Okay. Yeah, I was on the page where I could see the chat and everything, so I'll stay on this one to stay connected. Yeah. My apologies, everybody. I hope I'm not notorious for that now. Jeez Louise. Okay.
Wait till Uranus passes your Sun.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we will see then. That's in a year. Okay.
Where is your Mercury?
In Taurus.
Oh, okay.
All personal planets except the moon are in Taurus for me. So.
Really?
Yeah. So
Uranus, powerful stellium in Taurus.
Yeah. So we'll see what Uranus does. I think I'm kind of the same as you. You have your Aries stellium, all personal except for the moon, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you're in astrology, Uranus rules astrology. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So if you do a career connected with Uranus, it's going to be fantastic. If you don't do a career connected to Uranus, can be disruptive. But otherwise, it's wow, it's amazing. That's been the best transits I've ever had in my life, to be honest. And the most stressful, but the best.
Well, that's good to hear. And that's something that also, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we will be talking about stuff like that in our webinar as well. Transits that will show you big changes and breakthroughs in career. So the timing of career, we will definitely be talking about that too.
Yes.
So I don't know where I didn't hear what you were saying about Taurus, so I hope I'm not repeating myself.
I was saying that it's people in the beauty industry as well, like you said, anything to do with the five senses. But you carry on, you mentioned it as well. People like to hear repeated, and they learn better when it's repeated.
Okay. So yeah, the beauty, five senses, massage therapists, Taurus can be excellent with that. We're really familiar with touch. Also banking and finance. Like a lot of Tauruses, and once again, I have a Taurus stellium. I've worked in banking and finance for most of my working years. And we're really good with that. We're really good with money, with numbers, and saving money and conserving money and protecting money also. So yeah, any type of finance jobs. Also, I mentioned singing, and I think that might have be when I dropped off. But I said I can't think of offhand who, but I know I've seen a lot of celebrity charts that are singers, and they have the midheaven in Taurus. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, well, you're here to be a singer, and Taurus.
Yeah, Taurus rules the voice cords. So that makes sense. If they have a good planet in Taurus or strong Taurus, it also can give you great voice.
Yeah, I wish I could sing. I have a Taurus stellium. I'm like, what happened to me? Like, why can't I sing like that?
Too much Taurus.
Maybe
your vocal cords.
I believe it. I believe it. But yeah, also, I think we mentioned earlier a little bit, like farming and gardening. Gardening, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Taurus rule because it's food. It's commerce to do with food. The shipping and receiving of food, the stocking of food. So grocery industry is Taurus also. And yes, like we mentioned earlier, Uranus, when it goes into Taurus, those types of careers may skyrocket, and there could be some innovative changes there. So any of you Tauruses that are interested in that type of career, you know, just start getting creative with some ideas.
You have to do something different though. If Uranus is to help you, you have to do something in those industries that is more unique.
Yeah.
And I also think Taurus in ancient astrology rules preservation, like you said. So they can also be interested in history. Interesting enough, because it's about archiving and keeping the archives in some sort, because Taurus wants to gather and keep. And people with strong second house or Taurus can be interested in history as well. That's something just to quickly mention, just like people with strong Capricorn and Cancer.
Yeah, that's true. And that just made me think, I didn't write this one down, but Taurus could be really good with like those people that make keepsakes and memories and scrapbooks and stuff.
Exactly.
It's Taurus, it's Venus, it's creative, but it's also preserving memories, material items that represent memories. So, you know, think about that for Taurus. Also, yeah, anything in arts, Taurus can be really good at as a career. So consider arts. Also mining and jewelry, like anything to do with jewelry, Taurus. Collectors, appraisers, people that appraise homes and material resources to see
because they know the worth, exactly, the value of something.
Yeah, to see the value of stuff. So people like Taurus could be people that work in like the auctions and those places where they do stuff like that. Just retail services. I'm making myself sound like I have worked so many jobs, but I have. As a Taurus, I've worked in retail a lot, and it's usually like a side job, seasonal job in retail. Oh my gosh, Taurus, we love clothes and shoes and material stuff. So we could be around that stuff all the time, and we could be really good with sales of it because we know the quality of things, you know, so we can actually talk to people about these quality products, like from the heart, not just surface level sales BS. Like we know it, you know. So
probably Gemini would tell you anything, or Aries. They don't matter. It doesn't care about the quality as long as they sell you something.
Exactly.
Quality is so important.
Yes. I know when I was working in retail, I would not work anywhere to sell things that I didn't believe in. I didn't truly believe in it. I tried to work sales jobs that were just like, sales, but no, it didn't work for me because I'm like, why should I tell people about this product when I don't know anything about it or it's crappy? Like,
Taurus is not about amount, it's about quality as well.
Yes. Yeah.
That I've seen many Tauruses that are hoarders together with Cancer. If you have a Taurus Cancer combination, you hoard, because their mentality is preserve, maintain, you know, keep.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. But yeah, also nutrition, things to do with food. Once again, like nutrition. Taurus energy, I noticed, along with Virgo, which we'll get to later, is really into natural foods. Natural foods and growing them, or just like, you know, working in the grocery store, being that person, that clerk that knows all about that stuff. But yeah, nutritionist too. That was also, as a Taurus stellium, my one of my interests as career before was being a nutritionist and educating people about food. Just the ingredients and things and all of
natural,
that.
the simple, because Venus shows the taste, and when it's in Taurus, it's very strong, it's natural, and these people are naturally drawn to the natural foods that we should eat. They have a good palate.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I mentioned banking, finance, payroll. Also, yeah, preservation. We talked about preservation earlier. So a Taurus job could be working like at a national park or something, because it's nature, it's beauty, and it's preserving.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, or just a simple cashier. Tauruses, some are happy in those jobs, you know.
Smell the money, touch them, rub them around.
All about that. So yeah, now let's move into Gemini. So Gemini is ruled by Mercury, communication, hands, speech, texting, typing, writing, sales. Geminis are so good with sales. I tried working sales jobs as a Taurus, and I was so boring. I just wanted to talk about the facts, the details, and then get off the call. All my Gemini colleagues, top sellers. Hey, man, this, and that. And yeah, we're buddies. We're cool. Maybe we can go out for drinks sometime. Like, only BSing people and charming them, but they would make all the sales because they know how to speak to people.
Exactly.
So I'm like, oh, why can't I be like you, Gemini? Yeah. So Geminis, communication jobs, phone, like all my Gemini friends thrive in the like the phone and communication companies, telemarketing, sales, but also like working like for major phone companies, like cell phone companies, selling phones, and because they're up on the latest gadgets, technology, communication gadgets. So anything working with those could be good for Gemini. Also, journalist jobs, newspaper, magazine, writing, all that stuff. Gemini could be
as well. Media, YouTube, just someone who talks, discusses things.
Yeah, so like bloggers and vloggers. That's like the new age career, you know. So yeah, I notice a lot of YouTubers I watch, they have Gemini energy. They talk fast or loud, and that's kind of like what people are attracted to, that, you know, that quick wit like that.
Yeah, it engages you. They're funny as well. Their mind is usually quite fast on the spot, so they know how to attention. I've seen also comedians sometimes with Gemini. They have to be quick on your feet as well. Salespeople, people that in any kind of commerce, traders, Gemini, fantastic for that. Because Gemini is also the middleman. You know that Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury was the middleman between the gods and the humans. He was delivering messages between the two of them. So people with Gemini can make great money if they're introducing people to each other. If they can be postmen, for example, or delivering messages of some sort, or they can be middleman in business deals. They, for example, can know 20 people and think, I have a friend with Gemini on the 10th house cusp, plus Mercury and Mars there. She knows everyone in London. And someone calls her and says, oh, I'm looking for a job. She says, oh, I know who is offering jobs, so she connects them. I thought they should make money out of that. Stop doing it for free, you know?
Yeah, that is awesome. So that makes me think of people who do marketing on social media, like selling products.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they could be really good.
Contact with the client, and they are giving anyone who's also involved with short messaging of any sort, like writing blurbs, very fast turnout of messaging. It's not something that you go deep in philosophical, psychological. It's delivery of fast, current messages and what's happening, and keeping in contact with people, connecting services. So yeah, people that in marketing, that's why Gemini rules marketing. Rules advertising as well to some extent, and all those areas, administrative work as well, planning, organizing. Maybe they're not be most organized. PRs, PR. What is PR? No, who is the one that? I don't know exactly what PR no means actually, so I couldn't say. But yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. I think you're talking about the person that works with like high profile people, and they kind of manage their lifestyle a little bit, or connect them like with other.
Yeah, they find them the interviews. They find them who to when to appear, what magazine. What is that? Like an agent almost. You know, he's the middleman, someone and other sources, agents. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Yes, agents, perfect, because they have to do all this talking. And if you've ever seen agents like on TV, even portrayed in movies and TV, they're these smooth talkers, and they're totally Gemini. But also, like radio. I used to work in radio. Yes, I've had so many damn jobs, but I used to work in radio for several years. And it's a total Gemini career, totally Gemini. A lot of my colleagues who did really well on the radio had Gemini or third house energy when I would do their charts for them. And because they could just get on and just flow, just speak without a script. They may have like a little kind of like not a strict script to follow. There's just little blurbs they're supposed to say, but they could just talk and talk without saying, and that's why I never got on the air, because I'm the
You don't sound it, honestly. You must have prepared very well.
If I'm not prepared, I will be like, duh. But Geminis, they can just talk and talk. So and radio is ever changing to where, if you notice if you listen to local radio, the host, the DJs, they switch around the station so much. It's like they'll be over here for a couple years, and next thing you know, now they're on this station, that station. And that's why I couldn't keep up as a Taurus. I'm like, I want to stay in one spot. You guys are scattering everywhere.
Wow, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a communication career.
And usually they're great managers, because managers, people come to them, they have to, maybe not in the top high, they can be in very high positions, but they're great managers because they have to work with many people and coordinate certain things, and they're good coordinators on the whole. Oh, I think Donald Trump is a Gemini sun. He's always on Twitter and watches TV a few hours a day. That's very Geminian thing, to be informed of the latest news, you know.
Yes, and speaking of that, gossip columnist or gossip host of shows on the internet or on TV, Gemini all day. That is so Gemini. I think the number one that's on the air now that I'm aware of, because I don't watch a lot of it, but Wendy Williams, she's a Cancer sun, but she's got planets in Gemini. I think like 2 or 3 planets in Gemini. So she's all about the gossip. Can we talk? You know, all that stuff. Yeah, that I was like, I smell the Gemini on her, like through the screen.
What's her name? That Joan Rivers. She was Gemini.
She was. I think she was a Gemini, but she had like an Aries ascendant with Uranus.
Yes. She had Aries a lot because she was a bit quirky. Sorry, with the Uranus there, but she had a lot of Gemini, I remember.
Yeah, she was a Gemini, total Gemini. I loved her too. So gossip columnist or show host. Also translators, because Gemini is also speech and communication, Mercury. So translating languages can be a really good Gemini career. Or sign language. What are they called? The interpreters.
Yes, sign language, yeah.
Because it's speech and hands together and hearing and all that.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, we forgot to say that jobs involving hands, they can be craftsmen, those people. They can be in crafts like pottery or sculpture, or whether it's doing even jewelry, you know. Venus can be the one, the Tauruses, especially if you have a bit of Taurus, you also have a great eye for beauty, but you need to have a bit of a Gemini or third house for the hands to be able to make it as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I have a friend that has a Gemini stellium, and she makes jewelry, and she's really good at it. And also hands, like I have friends that have Gemini or like third house heavy energy, and they cut hair. They're really good with cutting hair and making clothes and stuff like that, especially if there's like a Gemini stellium with Venus involved, with Mercury.
Yeah, the planet of, yeah, exactly. Beauty.
Yeah, and and last but not least, you know, Gemini energy, I've noticed, especially with doing all these career readings for people lately, that Gemini energy, it loves having multiple roles, either in one company they can move around a lot. They can be in different areas and be on call to go to different places, have different roles, wear different hats. Like my husband's a Gemini moon in the 6th house of work, and that's what he does at work. He said he's wears many hats. He's always moving around and busy, and he likes it, you know. And then also Geminis are really, they like duality. So a lot of them, I noticed, they like to have more than one job.
They usually can, yeah. More than one business is more than one job, more than one, yeah.
At least duality, if not multiplicity within career, Geminis can really thrive there. Which is a little bit more advanced in astrology, but my progressed sun, and I think maybe another planet or two, is in Gemini. And as soon as it progressed into Gemini, I was like in my early 20s, I started having at least 2 or 3 jobs at a time for like 10 years.
Oh, really? Because mine is progressing next year there. I was wondering what's going to happen. I'm already so flighty. Well, I'm going to go into another business as well. I'm quite certain, like, I want to go into relationship counseling as well.
Oh my God, that is so awesome. We will have to talk about that later. Yes, that is awesome. But it's communication, you know, with people. So that makes sense for progressed Gemini. So that could be good for you.
Also, people that work with data of any sort. They might be computer specialists. They might be data manipulation of any sort, like, you know, as well. That's also Gemini.
Yeah, it is. Just don't be a hacker, though. Like those hackers that hack into people's computers because you know all this stuff with your hands and your mind.
And anything, professions that connect and make compare. I can't think on the top of my head of professions that compare things, that or when you make connections, you think of, you have a few things here, you have some knowledge here, and you connect it somehow. This is Gemini as well. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, so moving on to Cancer. So Cancer being ruled by the moon and being very nurturing, and nurturing includes food and shelter and comfort and security. So any careers based around those things, Cancer can thrive in. Anything that where they can play their motherly nurturing role towards other people, Cancers can be excellent in. So Cancers can actually, besides very spectacular careers that we will list, they could just be very good as homemakers. I've known so many Cancers that have said, you know, I'd rather, when I work with them, I'd rather be at home taking care of my family. They're really good with cooking, taking care of the kids, making sure the husband eats, or the wife, or whatever, because men are Cancers too.
Yes.
Be home, making a good homemaker, you know.
My husband is a great homemaker. He's the mom. He's Cancer.
So is mine. He does all the cooking.
Oh, exactly. So the same here. But I also see that they can make money out of property. I have 3 best friends that are Cancers, and one was real estate agent. But her son was in Cancer, but in the 12th house, and I told her you have to go into a foreign country to make money from real estate, and she went to Dubai and was making like $200,000 per year. Crazy money, you know. And my best friend is Cancer. She owns properties, and so that's her work is basically renting her properties. So it's ideal, you know. And yeah, many Cancers can make money from real estate, for example.
Yeah, I'm trying to convince my husband to get into real estate. I think he would do so good there because he's got that Gemini sales stuff, and Cancers are very caring. Cancers could be good with real estate because not only is it homes, but they can be the salespeople that actually really care about getting you into a nice, comfortable home that's secure. There's so much about the home that they know it like the back of their hands. So they could be really good at that.
Exactly.
Also, a newer thing that people do now is that Airbnb.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I had a client the other day who was I think a Cancer rising, and then she had energy in her 4th house too, which is similar.
Yeah.
And she had, I think, moon in the 10th. Like a lot of her career stuff was all Cancer, moon, Cancer. So she said, well, I think I might be good at Airbnb. And I was like, bingo. Yes.
Yeah.
Home business, you know. So also Cancers can be really great, just like Taurus, with food, cooking, chefs. Oh my gosh, Cancers can be so good with food.
Yeah.
Anything, they can own restaurant. I have a friend, same age as me, and he's now an entrepreneur. He owns a restaurant. He's like branching it out, and it's wonderful. He's a Cancer, and so he knows flavors. His like it's a shaved ice shop, and it's so flavorful. It's not bland or anything.
It's comfort food. Like Cancer wants to comfort you, and as well, anything that would comfort you is Cancer. Or
Yes.
people that maybe knit, or maybe not like sell blankets or comforters or stuff like that as well. Or people in bed and breakfast, like you said, in restaurants, in catering, taking care of others is Cancer. And I've seen many nurses or people that somehow will parent someone, the careers that are parenting, guardian careers, to be quite Cancerian as well. And people that are also in the military, but they go there because they want to defend, because Cancer is such a protective sign. It wants to defend and guard you. And Cancers can have, I've seen them to be bodyguards. I've seen them to be Cancers to be in the military as well, even though it sounds very counterintuitive, but they can definitely be in protective careers of any sort, guardianship careers, stewardships of land, guardianship of the country as well. Okay, sorry.
No, that's, you know what? You made some really good points. And Cancer being a cardinal sign, you know, and Cancer is so sensitive that people don't think of them as being people that can be very protective and everything, but they really are. And since Cancer rules like the homeland, like you said, and a lot of them are patriots. Yes. Associated with Cancer, so they will be the ones that say, I'm going to fight for my land, I'm going to fight for my country, you know. And they have heart, like such big hearts towards their country, their land of origin, their culture, and all of that stuff.
Their family. I mean, everywhere here that where we live, everyone has no fences in their house. Only ours is surrounded by fence, because my husband is Cancer and he says, I want to protect you. No one should. You know? Yeah.
Yes.
And also careers that involve, even if they're not in those areas, but as long as you're a guardian of something, as long as you're like the mother hen that, you know, protects and guards, you can go in those careers.
Yeah, definitely. Or just anything working from home. It doesn't have to be a specific, you know, thing like we listed. Anything where you can work from home on the internet. If you're a Cancer person and maybe you have some planets in Gemini or you know, some Uranus energy where you're really good with the internet, you could do work from home careers, and they are so good for Cancers because Cancer likes to still have that time for their family, to raise the kids and take care of the house, but still do some kind of work, you know, so that could be good for them. I've seen some Cancers have in-home daycare and infant care at their house because they're really good with kids, especially babies. Cancers love babies.
That's it. Cancers good with education, but like the education that the mother would give to a child, not like ABC. That's more like Gemini job, but like kindergartens or preschoolers and nurseries and stuff like that. It's Cancer.
Yes, definitely. Also, how we mentioned guardianship and protection and stuff, and children. Child protective services. Cancers may be good in that career. My father has Mars in Cancer, and he worked for child protective services, child support, protecting families and kids in that way. Cancer could be good at that career because they really do care about what they do and about the people. Yeah.
Careers that are connected to water, we forgot to say. Marines, and whether you do shipping over water of some sort, or sailor, or a fisherman, can be Cancer as well, or someone, anything to do with water, liquid, someone who sells and buys drinks, for example, or someone who makes drinks, kombucha or whatever, you know, or anything liquid is Cancer as well. And any careers that work with feelings of others, that's also Cancer, where so there will be more in a protective way, but it can be psychology as well sometimes. Maybe more like someone that you can go like a safe haven, safe harbor to them and just talk without being judged and being accepted for your feelings, because they will not laugh at your feelings. Yeah,
very true. Like family therapists. Cancer is really good with family therapy, or those people that they one of my friends is a Cancer, and her parents, I think, have Cancer energy, and they are foster parents. They've been foster parents for years. adoptive
Oh,
parent,
wow.
foster home. And they actually make money off of that because they get paid by the government or some
Yeah,
agency.
that's a great job as well. And it
It is.
involves feelings and parenthood and
Yeah, and they would take in babies who were maybe born to parents who were on drugs or have these like critical circumstances to where they can't care for the child. And my friend would help her parents in their career. She would hold the babies. The babies will only be there for maybe even a few days, you know, but her job was to hold them and just comfort them.
oh, that's so Cancerian, just
Yeah.
like body to body mommy feeling.
Yeah, yeah. Or in what they call it, NICU, NICU nurse. Cancers could be good with that because it's taking care of babies that are in critical, I don't know if they're always in critical condition, but like when my baby was born, he had jaundice and he had to be in the NICU. It's not like a serious condition, but it could be. So they had to watch over him. And so that type of a nurse,
Yeah.
cancers can be good because they really do care about the babies, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and what else? Oh, we mentioned hotels, hospitality, catering, historian, all of that
Yes,
stuff.
history, the past. Cancer
Yeah.
loves the past. Preserving memories in some way, maybe making albums, family albums for people, or some business that is about preserving nostalgic memory that is, yeah, anything connected to that.
Yes, they are awesome at that. So, moving on to Leo. So Leo is ruled by the sun. The sun, it's obvious up there. Everybody sees it. Everybody feels the warmth of the sun. The sun is very inspiring, inspirational. So Leos like to be seen in that type of a light. They like to bring that light to other people too, bring their warmth upon other people. Not just shine up there on their own to be fabulous, but they really do like to make people feel like they care, they're warm, they're generous. So, and Leos are natural leaders because they have such confidence. They don't really care about what other people say, most of them. And so they can just do their thing and be confident and succeed. So a lot of Leos can be really good with being inspirational figures to other people in any type of career.
Mhm.
That can mean they could be a boss or a manager, a team leader. Oh my gosh. A lot of these jobs I've worked at are team environment. Leos are always the team leader. Me first. Yay, I volunteer. Okay, everybody, this is what we're going to do.
Well, because Leo is like the father figure. Cancer is the mother figure. So they take the role of the father, how organized. It's the king who wants to take care of his kingdom. And either they can be great with having their own business or having their own kingdom. Even in the office, they're the king there and they take care of those below them in a sometimes very paternalistic and not condescending way, but they definitely do it like a father would do it to his children.
Yeah, they do. One of the last office jobs I worked, a very small office, the manager, assistant manager ended up being a Leo. She climbed to the top because she was always the first to volunteer and, you know, all this stuff. And I would be sitting there in my corner as a Scorpio grumbling, like, why does she get all the opportunities? Because she would always be like, me, I'm here, I'm Leo. Hey,
She
everybody.
puts herself in the spotlight, very Leo. Like that's why they
did.
get noticed. Not because they're more special than others or anything, because they're not afraid to be in the spotlight. And some of us might find it harder to get there. Well, I don't find it hard. I have lots of Leo. Although when I like the guy, because I have Moon in Leo in the 7th house of relationships, I would get so loud, like say he would be sitting somewhere there in the schoolyard. I would start laughing loudly, becoming obnoxious, to be honest, dancing and you know, just to attract attention, screaming loudly for the smallest thing, laughing out like ha 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 ha.
Oh my God.
Like a mad woman to attract the attention, you know. I'll probably still do it.
Maybe you do for your husband. Maybe he might like it.
I think I was behaving so weirdly again when I met him. I remember we were going for a walk the first time and I started dancing on the street and he was being like a shy Cancer, but his Venus is in Leo, so he smiled and liked it. And I was trying to impress him. Leo tries to impress, you know.
Yeah.
So any careers become famous. When you have a strong Leo, it can bring you fame because spotlight, they don't mind being seen by others to be the center of attention. They can be good in politics as leaders as well. They can be good in people that the center stage, that come and do motivational speaking, like you said, that take the stage, you know, and run with it. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Anything to where you're seen, you're heard, the attention is on you is all Leo. So it could be a famous celebrity. A lot of them have a lot of Leo energy. Or it could just be in your office job, you know. Hey, everybody, I'm a manager, I'm a leader, team lead, let's go, team, you know. But they can be really good with, Leo rules the hair, okay? So hairstylists, anything to do with hair, beauty, glamour, Hollywood is all Leo.
It's again attracting attention.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? When I used to work in like radio and entertainment and all that stuff, I noticed a lot of promoters that promote events. Event promoters are Leo energy because they're the ones that have the megaphone to shout it out, the event. Hey, everybody, check out this event. This person is so great, you know.
And they make it look glamorous. They excite you about that. They say, this is the best. Leo is the best, you know. Leo energy, it's about where you're the best, and exactly promote party organizers. Leo is fun to be like childlike party event organizers, event promoters as well.
Yeah. And since Leo is very inspirational, and it's Leos are really good with motivating people, like giving them compliments. They like to receive them, but they're really good at giving them too. I've noticed at like really gassing people up. Oh, you're so great. You're fabulous. You're talented. You're blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Yeah. So they could be really good with, also we mentioned earlier, agents. Gemini could be really good with that because they could do all the talking and managing, but Leo can be good at that because they can, you know, motivate their clients like, oh, you're great. You're fabulous, babe.
Exactly. No, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Those public image people. I can't recall the title exactly offhand, but the people who are responsible for public image of a public figure, like they make sure, like a stylist, they make sure they look good. They make sure that they speak well in their interviews, you know, teach them about their image, how to
make an impression in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So pretty much anything entertainment, theater, sports announcer, Leo could be really good with that because it's a fire sign and that's associated with sports, and Leos can be so loud, so
and entertaining and funny.
And entertaining, yeah. So they can announce like all the entertaining sports stuff that goes on. Also, since Leo rules the heart, maybe they can be a cardiologist.
Oh yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. They can also be good with being a personal trainer, just like Aries, fellow fire sign. Because they're concerned with, Aries is concerned with the body, like, you know, all this physical stuff, but Leo is concerned with that too, but more like the physical, like I want cut abs and good, make you look good.
Yes, to impress again others.
Yeah.
Maybe also people that work with gold, because Leo rules gold, like glamour as well and everything, but gold metals, anything that is, I was thinking about something and I lost it. Sorry. No.
Yeah, any jewelry, gold, anything that shines and sparkles, bling, bling, all that stuff. Jewelers, Leo could be good jewelers too. Also school teachers. I know a lot of people with Leo energy because Leo rules children. And like you said, the father figure of children. So school teachers. One of my best friends, her mother was a Leo rising, and I think she had some fifth house energy, so much fire and Leo stuff. And she was a school teacher. She would be the one that all the kids loved because she was so exciting, did all the songs every morning. Okay, guys, we're going to do all these songs and fun, creative stuff for kids. And one of my best friends, the same friend, is a Leo moon because her mom was Leo. And she's like that with little kids, good with getting kids together to do fun activities. So either teaching in school, preschool, or like daycare. Leos could be good with that, with all the fun activity stuff, field trips.
Yeah. Someone says gamblers. Yes, I'm reading the chat. Leo is gambling, but be careful, because if you don't have a strong fifth house, you can lose so much, guys.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like if you have Neptune there, don't do it. Yeah, one of my close guy friends is a Leo. I think he has a Leo stellium, and he gambles and he always wins. Always. He's so good at poker and all that stuff. He goes to Vegas all the time, always winning money. And I'm like, really? How are you so lucky? They call that Leo. I don't know. Let's see what else. Okay, so let's move on to Virgo.
Yes.
So Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so communication, management. Mercury for Virgo is more about organization and detail. So, and also like, you know, skills of the hands, mechanical things and stuff like that, knowing how things work and operate, getting down to the details of every little bit and piece and, you know, screw and all the tools and all that stuff is all Virgo.
Narrow specialists. Virgos are amazing at being narrow specialists. Find a niche, focus on it, small, don't spread yourself in many directions, but find a specific niche and perfect it. And if you have Virgo energy, you're good to go, you know.
Yeah.
To do it better than anyone else, but not to spread yourself over 10 things, one specific thing, and yeah, you succeed.
Yeah.
But I think also a lot of accountants, figures, numbers, people that work with numbers, that work with with details, exactly like what you said.
Yeah. Not to backtrack, but I know I'm kind of glancing at the chat just for a second, and someone mentioned for Leo, blackjack dealers and working in the casino field, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, that's true, because I have a girlfriend who's a Leo, lives in Vegas, and that's what she does for a living, and she makes such a good living. So yeah, that's really good. Okay, so now back to Virgo. Sorry. So yes, anything administration, supervisory, because they can look over things in detail and they can critique the workers' work. You know, whatever you do, they can critique it in detail, make sure there's no errors, anything to make things error-proof or correcting errors in any kind of job.
Yeah.
All Virgo. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, when I worked in those type of jobs, and I love Virgos, but it was so difficult for me to work with them because everything was error, rubbing errors in your face. I realized you made this error. And I'm like, oh my God, I suck. Okay, I made this error. Leave me alone.
We need those people, though. We need them so much. It's pain in the ass jobs, but they're so necessary.
Yes, and you know, thank goodness for astrology. That's when I got really heavy into astrology, when I was working a job like that, because I could understand everybody around me and why all these Virgo energy people were so critical. And it made me not feel as bad about myself after a while for being critiqued by them, because that's their job. And I worked in accounting during that time, and our job is to be penny pinchers as accountants, to count every cent. Where is it going? Is it going in this ledger and this section and this account? Yeah. So that's Virgo's job, you know, is to be, people say, oh, they're nitpicky. Well, their job is to be detailed and make sure that systems are working properly. So anything to do with mechanics, systems working in order, they're all about that. They're good at that. So they could be also good with editing and auditing. Excuse me. Yeah, auditors. Virgo is a good auditor.
My ex-husband was Virgo rising. He was, and with 4 planets in the 6th house again, which is Virgo house. So he always kept given jobs to audit.
Yeah, they're good at that. One of my other friends is a Virgo moon, and she was an auditor in a grocery store. Well, she's a Cancer with the Virgo moon. So she was a grocery store auditor of the food to make sure it's not spoiling and the expiration dates are not expired and all of that stuff. So yeah, auditing, good for Virgos. Anything to do with customer service could be good for Virgo, because it's a sign of service to other people. So any customer service jobs.
Yeah, because they also wouldn't put so much like personal feeling into it, because Virgo filters through the mind. And if I was customer service, I'll be taking everything so personally, but they somehow they know how not to be reactive, how to be polite. Virgo is it's all human signs that are represented by human, like Virgo, Aquarius, that have human figures, are very polite. You know, what else? Gemini as well. Gemini can be very, the figures of humans. Which other sign have human figure. I think those were the ones. They're called Virgo, Aquarius, and Gemini. They're the polite signs. They're humane.
Yeah.
Yeah, more well behaved somehow. No, not in all cases, but
Yeah, they know how to deal with
people.
people on a level that isn't always so personal, to where there's all these wild emotions and stuff.
Exactly. That's what
It's
I'm
not polite, you know.
civil, yeah, in a sense.
Yeah, so they could be good at any service jobs, even waiting tables, restaurants, labor workers, Virgos, because Virgo is all about service and duty. So yeah, they're not afraid to do some of those dirty jobs sometimes. Also, they can be really great with being a librarian. Somebody I know before said her father was very Virgo, and he worked in a library, and she has Mars in Virgo, and she would say, oh, you know, the smell of books. My dad and I, we love the smell of books in the library and organizing and reading and all that stuff. So
that's what drives me mad. I can live in the library, but never organize the books.
Yeah, organizing the catalog.
Also, they can be great at Virgos is services, medical services, nurses, doctors, that are working with the sick, that are working with social services. Virgo are not afraid to go, because Virgo is a sign that indicates lack of balance. So they like to, I can't explain, but because it's the sign of the servant, the one below, the employee, you know, so they can, and also indicates people that are marginalized of any sorts, that are, say, poorer, sicker than you, not as healthy as you, not as educated as you. So Virgos like to go and help such people. So any kind of helping professions where you're helping others can be very, I think Mother Teresa was Virgo. So that's very, I'm not sure, I have to check. I think she had she had 2 planets in the 6th house. Something like that, which is in Virgo. The moon and Saturn, yeah. So it's like giving service, helping.
Yeah, they can be really good with those jobs. They can be good as, anything with, like, a lot of doctors. I notice a lot of doctors have Virgo energy because of, you know, being really good, paying attention to the body, the processes of the body, how the body works in detail, the mechanics of it. Virgos understand that so well. So that's why a lot of them are really good with being doctors. Also, nutritionists could be Virgo too, because they understand the chemical processes of food in the body and how it affects the body. So
scientists. I've seen many scientists with Virgo, because they have to get to the detail, to the minuscule, to like under the microscope, and Virgo like goes to the detail, to the bottom, you know, to the smallest thing.
Yeah, they really do love looking in microscopes, you know.
Yeah, pharmacists, chemists as well can be Virgo.
Yeah. Also, like working with animals. I noticed
of course.
Every Virgo I know loves animals. They love animals. They're really good with training them, because they could be very, you know, it's about routine and discipline and structure. Virgo can be. So they're really good with animal training and grooming, because they're about cleanliness, you know, so they can be really good with that as well, with working with animals. Excuse me. But so veterinarians or trainers, authors, Virgo, since it's Mercury, using the mind, and
maybe more technical, writing more technical stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Not necessarily. J.K. Rowling had Moon, Mercury, and Venus in Virgo, so she's a great author again.
Yeah, and they're really good at like proofreading things to make sure there's not a lot of errors, and using the correct grammar and punctuation is all Virgo. So a lot of them, I noticed that a lot of teachers have Virgo energy, especially like English teachers, English teachers. They're really good because they can catch those errors like that.
Grammar and
teach you how to speak properly. They're really like about that. So yeah, now let's move on to Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus, so anything Venusian, art, beauty, aesthetically pleasing is Libra. Venus is all about balance and harmony in relationships to others, so anything to do with bringing harmony and peace, anything to do with like kind of balancing, seeing both sides of a situation, Libra is really good with that. So with that being said, Libra is a sign of the judge. Okay, so maybe being a judge, you could be Libra. And lawyers, I notice a lot of lawyers with Libra energy too. Also, Libra, it rules aesthetics and beauty. So a lot of fashion models have Libra energy somewhere, because Libra is about things being symmetrically balanced, you know, and a lot of models, that's how they look, like perfect eyebrows and nose and features.
Yeah.
So
In a classical way. There are other types of beauty. Look at April. She's very beautiful in an earthy, natural way. Libra is in a very classical way, like everyone would like them. um,
well, my Taurus stellium is in the house of Libra in the 7th. So.
Oh, okay. Double one there.
Yeah, I'm all about that stuff. I did actually try to model when I was younger, because not because I'm very critical of myself, but other people like, you should be a model. So I tried out, but I went to an agency and they pretty much told me that I'm so small, I don't even fit into the petite category. Which is 5'5" or something and up. I'm like, really? That's petite? Like, I'm 5 foot nothing. So I said, forget modeling. No. But a lot of Libra energy people could be good with modeling. Art, like art gallery, anything to do with art dealers.
Mm-hmm.
I was just watching right before we came on air. I was catching up on old Sex and the City, that show. I've never watched it before, but I just all of a sudden started watching it today, whatever. But one of the characters, Charlotte, is an art dealer. She's very polite and all about, you know, manners and everything. I'm like, she has to be a Libra. I'm like feeling out the energy of each character, like astrologically. I'm like, she's a Libra. She's an art gallery, art person, very polite, you know, so
sweet.
yes, and sweet too. Anything to do with style. Okay, what was that? People who are like home decor people who style like the rooms, and they match with the colors and all that stuff. Libra people can be really good with that. Even the males. I knew a Libra male. I went to his apartment one time. I was expecting it to be a bachelor pad, pizza boxes everywhere, beer cans. No, it was clean and it was decorated. And I'm like, what woman decorated this for you? Like, that was all me. And I'm like,
exactly.
Okay.
That reminded me, my best friend's husband is Libra sun and moon. He has the most beautiful home and he decorated it himself. It's at very high level. I thought he must be, he's a banker, and then he did it like the best designer. You know, I said, you're in the wrong field.
Yeah, so Libra also, because Libra is a very social sign. It's an air sign. They could be good as party hosts, like that person that hosts the party and they look very nice and they greet people. Hi, welcome. You know, would you like a drink? And you know, Libra is very pleasant and charming. So anything that requires being charming. Also, like what are they called? Yeah, like hosts at a party or at a club. At a lot of like nightclub events, they'll have hosts. Like I noticed they have like these beautiful women who they may not even be that great and talented with speaking, sorry to say, but they have them hosted. They're on the microphone, hi guys, you know, drink specials all night. Yeah. And they're on the flyer, you know, representing the party.
Exactly.
So that's a good Libra job. Not saying Libras are not smart or anything, because like I said, they could be lawyers, judges, matchmaking services, and counseling, relationship counseling.
Exactly.
Libras, oh my gosh, so good at that. I had a client the other day, had so much Libra energy, 7th house, Libra, Venus, all this stuff kept popping out in her chart. And I was like, you would be so good with relationship counseling and therapy of other people. You know, to be a mediator, a person that's in the middle, and they hear the side of the husband, they hear the side of the wife, and kind of weigh things out and see both sides, you know, so they could be really good with that.
And help the others see both sides as well. So
yes, they're so good at that. Yeah. Anything to do with contracts and agreements is Libra too. Someone that can go over contracts. I had another client recently that had Libra and 7th house energy, and she was a lawyer, a contract lawyer, like where she went over for high profile people, their contracts, to make sure that they are fair, because Libra is all about fairness. So she had that career as a Libra person, but also like a front desk person, someone to look charming and talk to people and sign people in the front desk at like hotels or businesses. Yeah, so I don't know, do you have any other things to add, Lotta?
No, I think you covered a lot.
Okay, cool. So let's move on to Scorpio. All right, so Scorpio, ruled by Mars, ruled by Pluto. Scorpio energy is not afraid of the darker side of life. So they can take on jobs that a lot of people are like, how in the world can you have that kind of a job? There's a job for everyone, and Scorpio can take some of the ones that are like that. Scorpio also rules other people's money. So that can mean like banks and dealing with people, dealing with death, with money, a sex therapist, all of that stuff can be Scorpio. In particular, also because Scorpio is one of the energies that rules secrets, being secretive. And Scorpios are magnets for hidden information. Mm-hmm. Like I'm a Scorpio rising. I'm telling you, I don't even ask for information sometimes. And it just comes to me and I'm like, wow, this just dropped from the sky. So we can find out anything, Scorpios. And so Scorpios could be really good as private investigators and detectives. For one thing, when I was growing up, I actually wanted to be a private investigator for relationships, like those people that hire one for if they think their spouse is cheating. Yeah. I wanted to be one of those because I actually I used to do that over the phone before we had the internet, back in our day. I would do that over the phone. I would be a spy for women, for girls' boyfriends that they suspected were cheating. And I would do that.
Nightmare for every man. For every man.
I would do it over the phone, and if they were going to be going to a party, I would follow them. I'd watch them. So I wanted to do that as a career. I know I sound so crazy right now,
but you can do it, especially with so many planets in the seventh house. Now you can help through astrology people find dirty secrets about their partners.
Oh, I sure do.
Those, yeah. In ancient Vedic science, Scorpio rules astrology because Scorpio is about getting to the bottom of things and revealing the mysteries of the world. It's occult. Anything occult is Scorpio. People that are, that astrologers, that are Taurus. Scorpio sees the secrets and the hidden things that others don't know, and they know how to read it and interpret it. And that's why Scorpio is one of the signs that is very strongly connected with the occult arts and astrology as well. And psychology. Nowadays, mostly psychology, because they get to the bottom of things. They unravel the mystery of the mind, of the heart and the soul, and they can help you pass through a crisis period. Scorpio is the sign that helps others pass through crisis. That's why also astrologers and psychologists are that the very therapeutic and healing sign once they have confronted their own demons. Because Scorpio, usually while younger, has a lot of their own demons. Often they might be drawn into the underworld careers younger, whether it's, I'm not saying prostitution even, but even drugs, drug dealing, crime of some sort, some kind of, that breaks taboos and rules, because Scorpio is not afraid to break those taboos and rules. But later on, when those demons are overcome, inner demons, and they spool to the crime even, they can be amazing therapists, healing energy. They can even have Reiki hands-on healing that penetrates to, helps you bridge from one state to another, because Scorpio is also the sign of death and rebirth. So midwives that are present at the birth of children, bereavement counselors, emergency services as well, that are there when someone is crisis situation that happens, people that are there to react in that crisis situation, just like Aries can be good at that. Anyone who is into the crisis managers as well can be great Scorpios. Sorry, go on.
No, those are awesome. I had a lot of those listed too, so thank you. Yeah, those are really good examples. Also working with anything working with research and forensics. A lot of Scorpios are like those shows like Forensic Files, like finding evidence that's really down to the molecule of something to solve crimes. Oh my gosh, that's so fascinating. Scorpios can be really good with stuff like that. And yeah, as far as like working with death, funeral homes, coroners, those are Scorpionic jobs. As a matter of fact, my sister has a lot of 8th house energies, which is very similar. And she volunteered to work for the state to ride around in the the death van, like the van that picks up dead bodies. She would go to crime scenes and help them to, and she loves it. And she wants
Oh
to,
my God.
that's her career.
They're drawn to the dark side for some reason. And they're not afraid of those gory things everyone would be afraid of.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know, there really is a career for everyone. Everybody has their place. And Scorpionic 8th house people, that they can do that. Some of them.
They can be vampire hunters. And some well, you know.
Yeah, they can.
Or people that are in catastrophic situations, like cataclysms, that go and help with crisis. Whether it's revolutions in a country, they go and help. Whether it's some natural disaster that happens, whether it's a personal crisis in a person's life, that they go and they help the person pass. Because when everyone else falls apart in crisis, Scorpio are the ones that get themselves together, and they can be, you know, like the guiding light for another.
Yeah, and like hospice care, like, you know, hospice, when someone's about to pass and they just still need care. Scorpio energy can work in that type of field too, because they wouldn't be so intimidated by the whole death thing. Yeah, not as affected. But also working with estates, like estates, trust funds, insurance, taxes, banking, even just banking, Scorpios are really good at, because it's about protecting the money. And Scorpio rising, I've worked in banking a lot, banking and finance. And a lot of times at those jobs, I would be the person that would do the opening and the closing of the facility and do all the counting of the money to make sure everything is there and the final count, you know, because I'm very protective over the money like that as a Scorpio. So any of those jobs, criminal investigator, because Scorpios know the dark side and we can investigate. Also X-ray technicians. Scorpios could be good at that because it's really seeing X-ray vision, which they tend to do anyway, but having like a device that can see real X-ray vision, down to like the little crack in a bone or something. What else? Yeah,
sex therapist.
Oh yes. Oh, I had that written down too, and somebody said it in the chat. Yeah, and somebody's saying witchcraft. Okay, well, if you want to do that as a career, no, there are some that own stores that, you know, they call themselves witches. They own those, like a new age store where we get all of our tarot cards and crystals. And actually, the store that I go to locally, it's my go-to store. The owner is a Scorpio rising, and I'm really buddy with him. And he owns that store, and it's his precious baby, this store with the crystals, tarot cards. They do readings there. It's totally metaphysical stuff. So, yeah, anything to do with mortgages too. Mortgage, loans. A lot of people I worked in with banking, they had those positions, and they were Scorpionic people. Gynecology, I wrote down.
Yes, the private organs of people.
Yeah, that is a career. I know I giggle a little bit, but it is a career. And Scorpio.
Do you know how gynecologists say the time? What time is it? 4:45.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Are we allowed to do that here?
No, I'm in a silly mood.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay, so let's move on to Sagittarius. All right. Okay. So Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. Sagittarius is very, like all the other fire signs, very motivational to other people. Inspiration. Oh my gosh, Sagittarius energy is so good with inspiration because they're so positive and optimistic that they can help other people to be that way and to see life that way. They're ruled by Jupiter, which rules abundance and an overflowing of abundance, constant abundance in the world. And also it rules being spiritual, not necessarily, yeah, it's being spiritual in a sense, having a spirit, connection to spirit, and always having a belief and faith in tomorrow.
And helping others find the meaning in their life, helping others find purpose as well. That's why they're great as gurus, teachers of some sort, of guiding lights of others of some sort, or helping others see the bigger picture for themselves.
Yeah, they do. I've actually had several clients recently that I did career readings for, that were motivational speakers, or they're inspirational people, or one of them was a fitness trainer, but it was more in a way not just focused on the physique like Aries or Leo. It was more like to really feel good about life, to get out and go hiking and bike riding and the outdoors, anything to do with the outdoors. Also,
yes,
Sagittarius jobs, like they could also work in like those national parks and with nature, and they can be good with since Sagittarius, it's
especially with wild nature. Sagittarius is wild nature, you know, like that's Virgo might be more like domesticated farm animals and stuff, or home farm, while Sagittarius is wild animals. I think that Steve, that the Australian guy, I think he was Sagittarius.
Steve Irwin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
I'm not sure either, but you read my mind, because I was gonna say that Sagittarius, since it's half man, half horse, it rules horses, and a lot of Sagittarian people are good with horse training, horseback riding, horse racing.
yes.
I've known a couple people with the Sagittarius midheaven or stellium that are horse trainers, or they own like a horse ranch.
Yeah.
But yeah, motivational speaker, life coach. Also, Sag is another energy that could be good with casinos, lottery, because happy-go-lucky Jupiter, there's plenty of money to spread it around, and they have, you know, Sagittarius. I'm always so jealous of my Sagittarian friends, because they have such faith and belief that they are usually the ones that win also with like the games and stuff with casino. Like my husband has some like Sagittarian energy, and I always get mad when he goes and plays poker with his friends, because I'm a Taurus, and I'm like, hey, that's our money. Like he goes with $20, comes back with 100 every time.
Oh,
I still get mad and say, don't do it. But then he comes back with more money. And I'm like, okay, I guess I can't get too mad. So yeah, those professional gamblers, Sagittarians could be good with that. Also philosophy and foreign relations, and being like a teacher of geography and foreign language teachers. They could be good with that. And they can also be
foreign language. I've seen that. They learn languages easier than others usually as well.
Yeah, they do. I have a couple of Sag friends, and they know like 5 languages, and they're American, and that's kind of like not common.
Yeah.
Also, working in careers revolving around religion, and I know religion is so touchy for people, but Sagittarius energy, because like I said, it's faith, you know, faith in tomorrow, faith in a higher than the self energy. They could be some of those religious speakers, religious figures that are like major, like as a career. What else? Also, shipping and receiving, like imports and export businesses.
Yes.
Yeah. And tour guides. Sages will make the best tour guides. Oh my gosh. Because they know everywhere of a place. You know, they explore so much. Travel agents, perfect for Sag energy. I've known.
Anything with traveling, yeah.
Yeah, I've known at least one person has a Sagittarius energy, and they were exactly that, travel agent. What else? Politics could be Sagittarius, because it's all about being very opinionated, strong in your opinions and expressing it. So politics
and making others believe into the future.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
That's what politicians do. They give you their ideology, and you follow them. Yeah, you're right.
They inspire you to follow them. Like, we're going to make America great, make our country and our future great, you know? So, as a matter of fact, Donald Trump has a Sagittarius moon. So,
yes.
But anyway, so what else? Flight attendants, and Sagittarius energy, because it's fire and active. It can also be good with sports too, like a career in sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so moving along to Capricorn. So Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn's energy is more about structure, discipline, maturity, responsibility, buildings, actual structure, like physical buildings. It's all about being in a top position somewhere, and like a leadership that oversees everything, like a business owner. So many business owners have Capricorn energy. So yeah, being a business owner, any kind of business, Capricorn. Corporate executives, financial planners, because Capricorn is protective. It's all about protecting of the legacy and of the future. So they can help you with those financial plans for the future, for saving for your like 401k or your retirement or whatever. Just any type of manager or boss Capricorn can be really good at.
They also thrive in a corporate environment. Well, not always, but they're okay with hierarchies, to be honest. And because Capricorn rules hierarchies of any sort, while Aquarius rules organizations without a center, where there is not a central boss. But yeah, if you have strong Capricorn, you can be very good into the business world, of hierarchical business world as well.
Yeah, and
you can reach high positions yourself. Capricorn will reach, because they're so hardworking. Usually success comes a bit later for them, because they always have to prove themselves first. They have to work harder than anyone else, but they have it in them to work harder, to put the extra long hours. And they usually have to start from the bottom to reach the top. This is Capricorn, the goat climbing from the bottom up. And if you're a Capricorn and if you try to go straight to the top, you might topple down. You have to take the Saturnian way to it, the Capricornian way, the long winded road to getting there, because Capricorn tends to, I don't want to scare, but tends to punish trickery, or trying to get from here to skip a few ladders,
Yeah, they definitely do. They don't like half-stepping, shortcutting. And so if they try to do that themselves, you're right, maybe they won't be as successful. And they have that understanding, which is why they could be good with any type of manager or boss positions, because they can help people. Well, yeah, if they can help people to learn how to climb the ladder, and they're comfortable with that, with starting from the bottom and looking up at the mountain and saying, that's my goal, and I'm going to trot along slowly and get there. My husband's a Capricorn rising, and he has a stellium in his 10th house. So he's always been that type of person. He doesn't mind. I think I mentioned in our last broadcast that he's been at the same company for 10 years, climbing the ladder. And he's perfectly fine with that, with all his Capricorn energy. And how he got with this crazy wife that's an astrologer, doesn't like the structure of corporate, I don't know, but we work, okay? So, yeah, they can be really good with just climbing the ladder in any type of industry. They could be good as entrepreneurs, too, because they know they have a lot of self-discipline to run a business, to start their own business and actually stick with it and be consistent and watch it grow, and not expect, once again, for it to just be an overnight flash. They know it's time. Since Capricorn rules the bones and the teeth, they could be dentists, really good with dentistry. My sister-in-law is a Capricorn, and she has fabulous teeth, by the way, and she wants to be a dentist or a dental assistant or something. I think she would be perfect as a Capricorn for that.
They have nice bone structure. If you have a strong Capricorn, you're right. The bones, the bone structure is beautiful. And as you said, they like buildings and structure. Brad Pitt has 4 planets in Capricorn, and his hobby is architecture. So I think Capricorns can also, they love the design of buildings, the structure of stuff. Anything where you have to build structure to create. I used to work with a Capricorn, and she was really good at putting structure into my business, which didn't have structure at all. Organizing stuff. And also, I would say Capricornian careers can be something working with leather, something working with, I would also say death, because Capricorn is not afraid of such, ruled by Saturn, something that they work with time as well. Watchmaker, for example. Saturn and Capricorn rules time. Someone that works with Capricorn rules, for example, old stuff. You might be something into antiques, for example, into old cars, or into anything that is old. Capricorns likes it, or they might work with old people. That's another thing they can, such careers. We can't think of all the careers for each sign, guys, because there are millions of careers and only 12 signs, but hopefully trying to mention all of them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the timekeeping one, just to validate that. Maybe like human resources or payroll at a job. At one of the last corporate jobs I worked at, I had a Capricorn manager that was if you were 1 second late, she was emailing you about your time. If your time card was wrong, your time card, everybody, every day.
There is control issues there. With Capricorn, there is often control issues.
Yeah, you know, which can make them, as once again, really good at like the structure of a business, you know, making sure that it's properly running. Okay, but yeah, they can be good with yeah, working with the elderly. I have a friend who has Capricorn on his 6th house of work, and he works in an elderly facility.
Yeah.
Good. Also, military officials can also be Capricorn, especially the top ones, the top ranking ones, because it took them a while. They started as a small soldier and they worked their way up to the top rank.
And it is about discipline, the army. It's about discipline.
Yeah, they could be
hierarchy. In the army, because Capricorn rules hierarchy, in the army, you have to do whatever the boss tells you, the one above. So that's such circumstances of hierarchy. And they're very conscious of social standing. They would how do I say social status. You know, for them, for Capricorn, strong Capricorn people, they might be even obsessed with social status of any sort. So
yeah, they could be. They could be. Also dermatology, because Capricorn rules the skin. They could be good with that. And what else? I think, government, working in government jobs. A lot of Capricorn people I've known are good at that because it requires you to be very tough, you know, and strict and all about the rules, and the rules have to be followed. And working in those jobs with so many people, like Social Security and whatever government.
Bureaucratic, very bureaucratic, as you said. Rules.
Yeah. They have to be kind of strict, kind of an a-hole sometimes, you know, because the rules have to be followed. People will try to bend them all the time. Actually, my sister is a Capricorn, and she has worked in all these government jobs. She was working with the government, and I'm like, ooh.
Exactly, rules and regulations. They thrive in that, and any kind of institutions that are established, whether it's government institutions or all traditional institutions, Capricorns can do really well there.
Yeah, and I think
sorry.
No, we mentioned earlier historians. Now that we're on Capricorn, yeah, historians, preserving history, material things to do with history, preservation of old buildings, you know.
Exactly. Preservation is another word for Capricorn, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to Aquarius, which actually a lot of you're Aquarius ascendant, so I'm sure you have a lot of input. So Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and also Saturn. So the Uranus energy makes them so quirky, innovative, creative, inventive, always about the future and what's ahead and what's new and what's actually like way ahead of the times. A lot of Uranian energy people, I've noticed, like the ones that became famous, when I study them, study their charts, people always say they were ahead of their time, or what they were doing 20 years ago is still standing now, or it's barely coming to light now, or whatever. So Uranus is about also reaching the masses. Aquarius is, that part of Aquarius is. Also with them being ruled by Saturn, Aquarius energy could be very fixed. They're a fixed sign too. Fixed in their ideals and, you know, fixed in a lot of things. And they could be about discipline a little bit too. But it's like, the reason why Aquarius is so hard for people to understand and pinpoint is because they have that duality of the two that are ruling them. One is very quirky, zany. The other one is very strict.
Traditional. Yes, I've seen Aquarius that are more like Capricorns than anything, you know. They manifest more through Saturn. Wow. And occasionally they'll get the quirky Uranus energy. They always have it there. But yeah, they can thrive both in organization. Probably the most Saturnian Aquarians, they would probably be more good in big corporations that they can big groups of people, possibly, you know, because like I said, Saturn in Capricorn rules hierarchies. Saturn in Aquarius rules big systems, interconnected systems. So to work in some kind of big organizations that the members are interconnected somehow. Of course, Aquarius is technology, science people, that the people of the mind, intellectuals of any sort. If you have strong Aquarius, you would be bored out of your mind if you are not stimulating this mind and using it. Inventors, scientists, astrologers. Aquarius is anything quirky out there, anything which is, and astrology is very mental science as well. um, and seeing, how do I say? Yeah, and I've seen also Aquarius people that are in any systems, again, without center, people that work with the nervous system, with the brain, with the nerves overall, because there is no center there. The opposite is Leo. Leo, there is a central system. Leo rules the heart. The cardiovascular system, the heart is the central, like the king there. While the nervous system, there is not one place where it's the most important. All nerves are important.
Yeah.
So people that work with technology, with internet, with yeah, you carry on. Sorry, you prepared better. I haven't prepared, so.
No, that's awesome. Well, you know, piggybacking off of that, yes, I've noticed a lot of people who work in IT. What does IT stand for again?
Information technology.
Thank you, Miss Aquarius Rising. A lot
They know it all. They're like, they're a bit intellectually arrogant Aquarians. When you have, they think they know the best.
That is so absolutely true. So many IT people I know, they have Aquarian energy. At a last office job I worked at, there were these IT guys that would come around and fix things. And just listening to them talk, I was like, they are so Aquarius, because they're like, we know everything. Let me fix this problem. Step aside, dummy. But you know, they are very knowledgeable though, because they let their minds go out further than other people. You know, Aquarian energy is compared to aliens because their minds really go out there beyond mundane human stuff. So actually anything working with like space technology or something, or
NASA,
looking for aliens could be Aquarian career.
Yes.
But computer, software, and hardware developers, Aquarians,
Yes.
total Aquarian jobs. Also, so some sort of social work and social services could be Aquarius too, because they are about society. Yes, humanitarian. They're about society. They're about the rights of people being treated all the same and not, you know, separating people. Because, you know, Leo energy is all about treating people special as individuals. And the opposite is Aquarius, which is all about, we're all the same. We're all humans here.
Giving equal rights to everyone. That's why politics is also connected to Aquarius. Also to Leo, but to Aquarius in particular, because those that want to contribute to society in some way.
Yeah.
And to create social change, people that, anything social, creating social sciences as well. People that are in social sciences are can have strong Aquarians.
Yeah, definitely. Anything to do with networking too. Networking, social media, oh my gosh, or like marketing to big groups of people.
Yes.
Aquarian energy is really good with that. The friend I mentioned earlier that's a restaurant owner, he has an Aquarius moon, and his marketing skills are fabulous. That's why his business was able to grow and thrive so well, is because he got big groups, all these groups of people to advertise his business and like take pictures with the little business card and logo, all that cool, like innovative, creative ways of advertising is Aquarius energy.
And if you're Aquarius, guys, do something in a different way than what others have done. You can go into the most boring business or most boring career, but do some innovation and you'll be successful. Do take some create a new element there, and even the smallest thing. This is what Aquarius will give you its gifts if you have Aquarius, and will reward you if you do that.
Yeah, that's true. When I worked in an office, there was a lady that was a manager who was an Aquarius moon. And one of the first things she said to me in the interview is, are you an out-of-the-box thinker? Because we need people, even in this boring accounting job, to think outside of the box with new ways to do this, that, and the other. So yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of job you have, Aquarius, just be an out-of-the-box thinker, introduce new things and new systems into your work environment, and you may be appreciated. But yeah, also those people who work in social media jobs, like bloggers, you know, same as Gemini, but these people can really know how to reach a lot of people in intelligent and creative ways. With
a higher message usually, not just information, not just chatting and blabbing, but with a more of a message.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And also, yeah, just having a freelance career.
Oh, yes.
Just being a freelancer.
Involved, yes.
Yeah, a
All
freelancer.
my IT guys that do my website have been Aquarians, and they all work for themselves. It's,
Of course. There you go. There you go. Also working in radio, could be Aquarian too, and talk and TV show hosts like Oprah, like Ellen, you
and
know.
they have usually very popular appeal because Aquarius rules uh, the normal people, the whole society. So those people can have amazing popular appeal. Is Ellen DeGenerate also Aquarius?
I think she is an Aquarius. I know she has she has an Aries moon. It's been a minute, but I just Aquarius sticks out to me for her.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, yeah, I think you already mentioned like astrology, like astrologers. Occult is more Scorpio, but it's, you know, astrology and tarot and the, like, it's outside of the box jobs. So
Yeah, and if you're an astrologer, Scorpio astrologer, you'll be more like the consulting, helping people close one-to-one to deal with their issues, to therapeutically heal them. If you're an Aquarius astrologer, you'll be more like the mad scientist that develops theories, that's, that is much more intellectual astrologer. That's how I am as an astrologer. I don't work, even I never speak with people on Skype or personally. This is not for me. Just like Aquarius, they say they like the whole world, but they don't like the individual person. I can't work with people on one-to-one.
oh, that makes a lot of sense.
I don't want to get entangled in feelings, in drama. The Scorpio astrologer will be okay. They would want to speak with you on Skype. They would want to, to get to the bottom of you, to feel you and to work with you intensely, like you probably do. I'm like, leave me alone, just give me the data and I would analyze it astrologically and I don't want to use my intuition, even I want to use tested techniques and scientific approach, and that's the kind of astrologer I am.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Yeah, and Aquarian energy, as far as like astrology and occult sciences and occult practices, can be the ones that can do the predicting, because it's about the future. Forecasting out into the future is very Aquarian. Like, yeah. I'm not an Aquarius, but I have Uranus near my ascendant, or in my first house. So I really love predicting, forecasting. Sometimes when I do readings, I catch myself saying, oh yeah, so in 2020, you're going to be doing this. And I'm like, wait, not everybody cares to look out that far.
Oh, no, they do. They are like, for me, I love to give even 20 years ahead. Sometimes I would look at the Vedic dashes and I would say, oh, you're starting your sun period in 20 years. This is when your career will really take off, or this is when you have to be really careful about something.
Yeah.
Usually I mention the positive things so they have something to look forward to.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so last but not least, Pisces. So Pisces ruled by both Jupiter and Neptune. So they're very, very creative, dreamy, spiritual. They're very much about other people as well, about reaching people on a more emotional level. They care for other people so much. Pisces energy, with it being ruled by Neptune, is very flowy. It goes against time, and it's kind of in its own world. With the Jupiter energy, they could be very inspirational, just like Sagittarius, who's also ruled by Jupiter. They're good at inspiring people to do things. So Pisces, I find a lot of Pisces people, they could be happy doing volunteer work or charity work because they're a very selfless sign, and they're very much disconnected with the material world. Since they're the very last on the wheel, Neptune is so far away, they're not always into like material world stuff. So they're like, I can be free from money worries and just do volunteer charity, just care for people, not expect anything in return. Also because of their minds being so, what's the word I'm looking for? They're really good with photography, cinematography, because of their vision. They're such visionary, like they can see things in such this creative, dreamy way. They can think of like scenes in their head and creative stuff in their mind.
They're with one leg in the reality, in the material world, with another leg they're into the world of ideas and imagination, and basically the invisible world. So they're so fluid with those creative things, bringing them to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've actually seen lots of Pisces that don't work. Like You know, the two Pisces that I know, Pisces Sun, they have big periods of their life when they didn't have to work or something happened, because Pisces is about escaping responsibility and reality and the daily grind. And they somehow often can be given periods of their life where they don't have to do that, which is great.
Yeah, because Pisces energy is about freedom. You know, Neptune and Pisces, they rule the vast oceans that just flow like continuously and cannot be contained. So they like their freedom like that, to just float and kind of be a little hippie-ish sometimes, not have to worry about regular world stuff. But they do have to be careful with that, because Pisces energy on the negative side can rule homelessness and just kind of floating, not really in society, kind of in and out type of thing. But as far as jobs though, music, because Pisces is so in tune with like, it's hard to, Pisces is a little hard to explain, but you know, because Pisces energy, I have a Pisces moon, I have a son who's a Pisces rising. We both have the same ear for music. We don't just hear noise and go la 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 la. We hear every sound, every instrument, every change in pitch, everything, every word, everything, how everything flows.
And you feel it. Michael Jackson had, Prince had moon in Pisces, Elvis Presley had moon in Pisces, Frank Sinatra had moon in Pisces, Johnny Mitchell had moon in Pisces. Like the greatest musicians I know, they have all moon in Pisces. They can feel intuitively what the crowd needs as well, what the collective subconscious, they can feel music. They all created amazing original old music.
Yeah, they can. And it is because it's a feeling. You feel it. And they could be really great dancers too. Some of the best dancers I've known have been Piscean people too. They don't always need the choreography, the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. They just hear it and they move and it matches naturally. Also graphic design, graphic artistry, makeup artists can be Pisces, because they can morph you into somebody else with extreme makeup. Not just the regular makeup you put on every day, but they can be good at those makeup artists like on the sets of movies, to create someone like a really thin person into like a big suit, you know, with all the makeup and all that. Those people can be Pisces people can be good at that.
Yeah.
And I noticed
glamorization as well, you know, to image, yeah, exactly, yeah. To make you a chameleon, to change you from one to another as well.
Yeah, I noticed once again, I know I watch a lot of YouTube. A lot of the YouTubers I watch for makeup and beauty, a lot of them have Pisces energy, and they're really good with the makeup, transformational makeup and stuff. But also Pisces is really good with ocean, like anything to do with the ocean, working in ocean type of jobs, oceanography, saving animals, ocean animals, saving animals in general, zoology, animal rescue person. I used to work with a Pisces who was an animal rescuer on the side. It was like a passion of theirs to save animals. They're another sign that could be a veterinarian too, and also in medical anyway, like in the medical field. Because Pisces is a healing sign, a healing energy. It cares so much for the sick. Like Virgo does it as their duty to serve humanity. But Pisces, they can do that too, but they really have an emotional connection. They feel sympathy for the sick, the injured, the poor, you know.
Absolutely. So Pisces and Virgo have the biggest number of doctors and nurses that I've seen, basically.
Yeah, and they could be really good with working in hospitals, nursing, mental health too, and drug and alcohol addiction counselors. And I saw somebody mention that in the chat earlier. Yes, totally Pisces, because Pisces does rule substances, substance abuse, substance addiction. They're very familiar with that energy, with those things. So they can become great counselors. And a lot of them, Pisces is more susceptible than other signs to those addictions themselves. So a lot of them have been through that and gotten rid of it, and so therefore they know how to heal other people and get them out of that situation too. And mental health stuff, pharmacy technician and chemical engineers, because it's chemicals, Neptune rules. Lifeguards, they can be good lifeguards.
I think cancers also can be lifeguards, because they guard and in water. So Pisces and cancers, My brother is Pisces, and he used to be a lifeguard. And then he worked in a yacht company where they were making yachts, ocean water.
Oh,
and wow, yeah. And then he didn't work for many years because they're very wealthy. So,
wow. And you know what else Pisces could be good at? Those jobs where they there was a reality show where they caught they would go away for months at a time to catch like fish and
the deadliest catch.
Yeah, the deadliest catch. Those people, they can be Pisces can be good at that.
Fishermen, yeah.
Yeah, like professional fishermen, and they go away for months and they make all this money, then they have all this time off to kind of just float there like a Pisces. So also they could be prison workers because they're comfortable with solitude and being in these confined places like that. Pharmacy technician, I think I might have mentioned that already. Anything with psychic work, Reiki healing,
yes.
Religious careers too can be Pisces. Anything connected to the unseen, to the spiritual, to other realms, Pisces is so good at that. I always see in the charts of people who have such talent for that, they have either a heavy Pisces or a Neptune. They just receive messages from the beyond, and people wonder, well, how are you hearing this or seeing this? And it's hard for them to explain. They just have that ability. So yeah, people who do that type of work, psychics and things like that. Even astrologers can have Pisces.
A lot of astrologers have Pisces, and they're those astrologers that you go to and they tell you things that like I would not be able to see that in the horoscope, but it's their intuition. It's like they see Saturn in Virgo and they say, oh, you're gonna meet your husband in Greece. I'm like, how do you know that? Greece? It's like intuition, you know?
Yeah, actually, since I have a Pisces moon, and also another astrologer friend of mine has a Pisces moon, we both see charts the same way. It's like they come alive like a movie when we see certain things in a chart, and therefore we can see your whole life. It does play out in our head, in our imagination, like a movie. And I like to say I describe the planets and the positions as like characters sometimes. Like I think that's my Pisces moon. You know, very illustrative, creative way of describing things. Any job involving that is Pisces.
That's why a lot of fashion designers, creative people have Pisces. So computer game creators, so movie creators, they create an illusion, they spin a different world for you guys. And I remember that Edgar Cayce, Rudolf Steiner, the greatest, they're not even psychics, they're like clairvoyants, much higher level, that can enter the Akashic records whenever they wanted. They had Pisces energy very strong in their horoscope as well.
Wow. Yeah. And last but not least, I'm going to mention actors. Pisces. Yes. A lot of Pisces energy people can be great actors because since they are ruled by Neptune, they're water, they can morph into anyone or anything, any character. A lot of those people that play on like those shows that have skits where they can play different characters, a lot of those people can have Pisces energy. I'm a Piscean, and I've always wanted to be on one of those shows since I was little, like in Living Color and Saturday Night Live. Like that was my dream, is to be someone who could play all these different characters, and you really become them. Like that's why Pisces can be good actors, because also since they're emotional creatures, they can be the one to cry. Like get themselves into a state of mind.
Yes.
Cry. Oh my God. They don't need the fake tears. They can really cry and get into character. So
and you know, so it's crazy, but actors, when you look at their horoscope and they're having, say, Saturn transit or something, Pluto transit, and you think, oh, what's going to happen in their personal life? It happens when they're having this Pluto transit. They go and portray a character who is, say, a criminal, or who is a rape victim or something, you know, Plutonic, and they live it. They live the feelings of those characters and experience it. So that's, if you're gonna have a very difficult transit, guys, no matter what your sign is, I would say go and do some drama and play situations that describe that this planet. So you deflect it so it doesn't come on your personal life, but you say you do it through some kind of drama or theater group or something like that.
Yeah, that could be awesome. Oh, one last thing I forgot is podiatry. I think that's how you pronounce it. Working with the feet. Yeah.
Yes.
Anything to do with the feet, or those people that do like foot massages that stop you in the mall would you like foot massage?
Oh my, you're such a racist.
I love, hey, my Pisces moon loves accents.
You're doing it very well. Like, you did a few accents already.
That's me on a regular basis every day if you know me well. All day accent.
Wow, that'd be so much fun to be around you.
But yeah, the people who are really good with the feet, the study of like the foot massage, or those people that they can map out the foot and tell different parts of your body that are ruled by the foot, and they can help to heal you, like the Chinese medicine and stuff. I believe it belongs to Chinese medicine. So yeah, foot doctors, Pisces, you know, you could be good at that. So that's really it. I mean, we're going on 2 hours here. I hear baby cry.
So much. Thank you so much, April. I mean, like, it's half of the webinar, but we have so much more to tell about the webinar because this is so general, and we have to teach you how to look at specific things, and we'll go through everything there. We'll cover planets, what each planet gives us a career, some combinations between planets. We'll give answer and question at the end. We'll go through, we'll tell you all the fine details, that techniques that we use, because you can't just go by the sun sign, you know, and by the sun. Many of you, if you are listening, you say, well, I'm a Virgo, but I'm a painter, so, you know, it doesn't describe me. I'm not a serviceman or something, you know. And that's because the art of astrology, you have to look at everything, and we'll teach you how to look at the best planet in your horoscope, or the best aspect, to discover what will give you most success in life.
Yeah, definitely.
So come and join us on the 12th of July. The price is only $39. And after that, it goes up. It goes to $49. So yeah, 2 more days to subscribe and come and join us, guys. So April is an amazing teacher. I can't wait to listen to the webinar as well, because she'll be the main teacher there. You've really blossomed up as an astrologer, April. And it's your time is coming in a big way now with Uranus entering Taurus. You're gonna rock the world of astrology.
Aw, thank you. Well, not to be like gushing or anything, but Mercury is in Leo, but I did learn a lot from you over the last like 7 years. Every single video I've studied and taken notes.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah, so thank you so much for allowing me to do this webinar on your platform, and it's exciting to partner with you too. So
it's very successful, April. It's very, I'm telling you that we have so many people that are coming, and I'm so excited because we're also going to show you how to do predictions for career, when important periods of career, big changes happening. So
yeah, awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to share everything with everybody. So yeah, join us on July 12th, 12 noon Pacific time. It's on our website, the information. We'll leave it below too.
Yes.
Video processes. So
wonderful. Thank you so much.
Wednesday. Oh my
Tuesday.
God.
On
Wednesday.
Tuesday. Oh no, Tuesday.
The 12th. Hold on.
Oh.
Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Okay. All right.
It's July 12th, wherever you are. That's where we'll be on the webinar.
Wonderful. Okay, wonderful. Have a great weekend, Sunday.
All right.
Kisses. Bye.
Bye.